Actually, in this question, whatever diagram you are seeing, this is a truss. Okay. Now in this truss, you have total 3 members: member AB, member BC, and member AC. Okay. This is member AB, this is member BC, and this is member AC. Now you just consider AC is grounded. Then we have to find out deflection of point B. So how can you find out deflection of point B? So you can see here, this is point B. So this point B will go down. So how to find out the deflection? Okay. So for that, we have to apply Castigliano theorem. What is the theorem? Dou U by dou P is equal to del. Now you understand what is U here? U is strain energy. It means what? We have to find out strain energy in the member. So for that, in the previous class, we have done the idea about strain energy. If you remember, our strain energy formula was, for axial loading, we discussed P square L by 2AE, right? So our job is to find out in every member how much load is being distributed, because this load P is acting downward. So under the influence of this load, every member will experience some amount of axial force. So that axial force we will substitute here, and length is given, and area we will consider somewhere, whatever is the data, and then we will substitute E values, and then that's all. We will differentiate the U value and we'll be getting our delta. So currently, this differentiation what you are seeing here, you can also simply write as U by P. U by P. How? Because actually dou U by dou P you can also consider as U2 minus U1 by P2 minus P1. But we can consider this only if and only if we know that in the beginning your energy was 0 and initial load was 0. Then this U2 you can write as U, and this P2 you can write as P. Okay. So for simplified form, for some special cases, you can write U by P is equal to del, where U is your strain energy. So actually, what is our step 1? Our step 1 is, in every member, we have to find out the axial forces. So that is very easy. Either by applying Lami's theorem you can find out, or by distributing the forces component method. Okay. So I will erase all these things. And so you just write your step 1. In step 1, we will write find axial forces in members AB and BC. Only in member AB and BC you have to find out. No need to discuss about member AC. So how to find out that? Member AB I will draw like this. Member BC I will draw like this. This is my member A, this is my B, and then BC. And load is acting downward. And we will consider that in this force F1 is acting, and in this force F2 is acting. And direction I can choose anything from my side, and according to the answer, positive or negative, I will change the direction. This beam is not vertical, this is truss, this is not beam. This is, right now it is just a member. Okay. Now see, we have this 50 here. According to the 50, we will find out component method F1, F2. What is the best way to find out method? You see, F1 you can split in 2 parts, one here and one here. You just consider, because you can see in the triangle you can find out sin theta cos theta easily, because all the 3 lines are given, right? You can see this kind of diagram is there, right? If you consider this as theta, this is your 4, 3 and 5, and if you consider this as theta, then you can easily find out sin theta value, cos theta value. So you just consider this as theta. It is smartness. So you consider this as theta. So F1 will be having 2 components, one component in this direction and one component in this direction. Okay. So vertical component of F1 is going to be F1 sin theta, and that is going to be equal to 50, and F2 plus F1 cos theta is going to be 0. Why? Because in this direction you don't have any force. So I balanced vertical force and horizontal forces. So F1 value I got, and F1 value, if you will solve, you will be getting 62.5 kilo Newton. And because you are getting positive answer, it means what? The direction what you have considered is correct. And when you will substitute the value F1 here, and when you will find out F2, then your F2 will be minus 37.5 kilonewton. And because here you are getting negative sign, negative force means compression, positive force means tension. Okay, so you got your F1 value and you got your F2 value. Once your F1 value is known, your F2 value is known, almost work done. I mean, almost we are done. Now we have to find out total strain energy in both the members. In which two members? In member AB and in member BC. So now what is the idea for that? How to find out total energy in both the members? So for that you have to apply the formula of strain energy. That is nothing but P square L by 2AE, right? Okay. So for that you should know the value of A, you should know the value of E. So for that you just edit the question. You consider area of every member is 600 mm square, 600 mm square, and E value you just consider as 200 gigapascal. 200 gigapascal. Okay. So because we are finding out strain energy in both the members, so you have to write this formula 2 times. Okay, length of the members are not same, A value and E value for members are same, and loading is also not same in both the members. In member AB you have F1 loading, in member BC you have F2 loading, right? Axial loading. So I will change the page. See now, you just find out your U total. That is nothing but U in member AB plus U in member BC. So U in member AB is nothing but your F1 square L by 2AE. But which length you will put? You will put the length of AB. In same way, F2 square, then length, which length? BC length, divide by 2AE. No need to write A1, A2 because all the areas are same. No need to write E1, E2 because both the things are same. Now you find out total energy, substitute the values. When you substitute all the values properly from the given data, you will find out 11.07 Newton meter. Now you see, in step 3 what to do. Actually, this is your step 2. Finding out total energy is your step 2. Then in step 3 what you are going to do? We know total energy now. So if you remember the very basic formula, the fundamental formula of the strain energy, when we discussed in the class, it was like U is equal to, you remember I gave you the curve like this and load like this and del like this, and I said area under this. Okay, it was nothing but half into load into deflection. So by using this formula you can just find out your deflection. So your deflection is nothing but U by 2U by P. Okay, so we know the total energy now, and we know how much load is acting. So total energy, I mean strain energy, already we have got. So that is 2 into 11.07 Newton meter divided by the load. What was the load value? Let me cross check. Load value was 50 kilonewton. Okay, so you divide here by 50, kilo means 1000 Newton, right? So this much you solve, then you can see Newton will get cancelled, meter will appear. So your total answer for the deflection will come 0.44 millimeter, right? I hope you understood. I will revise one more time.